We were looking for a project that would bring excitement to downtown, something that was accessible for all, and we wanted an art project, an outdoor art project, and something that had to do with new forms of art. Phase 1 will roll out by the end of this year. Toby Archer is creating a piece called Marquee for the Tampa Bay Performing Arts Center. Marquee is a pulsing fiber optic that wraps around the roof line of the center and the new Pallavi Patel School. This will be a permanent installation. Also in Phase 1, a piece called Light Painting by Stephen Knapp will bring a renewed emphasis, I like Robin writing that, a renewed emphasis to the Tampa Municipal Office Building. That would assume there was well, we won't go into that. I'm sorry, Mayor, no. I know you didn't build it. It looks to me like the Fuhrer bunker, but this is small pieces of tempered safety glass. As light changes through day and night, the angles of the reflections change. Phase 2 will open January 7th, 2006, and introduces 6 artists and installations selected by a nationally recognized jury. Jorge Horta will do his first U.S. installation at the historic Plant Hall of the University of Tampa. This is going to be quite remarkable. You can see a picture of Jorge's installation. This is at this is in Lille, France, but I'm not sure what the building is. People keep telling me and I keep forgetting. But our building, as you can see, is even prettier. This will be a big deal internationally. At the event in France, they had 300,000 or 400,000 people who came and stayed all night. So it really should blow the doors off the town if things go well. In addition, in Phase 2, Backstage Lighting, a local company, will wrap the Trib's News Center in light. As you can see, they're going to architecturally light the building. Also on the river, of course. Erwin Retto, an Austrian-born artist, will install Fade in the Cube at 400 North Ashley. This picture doesn't do justice to this at all. It's going to fade from the color on the left to the color on the right through the entire spectrum, and it really has a sense of pulsing and breathing. And it will be, again, visible up and down Ashley and from the river. And Wendy Babcox, who's a local artist, is going to install a video-based project in the storefront at the new National Wall Art Gallery. That's at Ashley and Kennedy, across from the Cube. Her installation will focus on the natural beauty and images of tourism in the area. Phase 3, assuming we can raise the money, Peter will be talking a little bit about that, is in the planning stages. One thing we're sure of is Janet Eckelman, another local artist who now is at Harvard, is going to have an installation at the Poe Garage. This is a pretty remarkable, I know everybody loves to go and visit the Poe Garage now. This is going to make it even better, if you can imagine that. You'll want to have picnic lunches there. Really, it's quite something. She will make the Poe Garage, Robin's written, it's a destination. Her installation is a kinetic piece made of Tinara. I, of course, asked what the hell that is, and it's a metal netting, of course, which you knew, and I didn't, which will be dramatically lit. Also in Phase 3, we want to light the Cass Street Bridge. Tracy Deere and HOK Architects are working on that. And we want to get Dan Corson to do an interactive installation. This is a lot of fun. It works when you step into the spotlight. Lights go off, paparazzi flashbulbs go off in the trees, and your picture is shown up on the wall. So it should be a lot of fun. Again, assuming we can raise the money. Everybody really likes that part. My partner in crime, Peter Hobson, is going to talk to you now about just what this can mean to the city and the downtown and the economy. Thank you.
Thank you. As was said earlier, my name is Peter Hobson, and I am in-house counsel with Pepin Distributing. Now, as we all know in this room, of course, that Pepin is the Anheuser-Busch wholesaler for two counties here, that's Hillsborough and Pasco County. And as you know also, Pepin is the family, and Tom, under Tom's leadership, has gotten very active in healthcare with the new Pepin Heart Hospital, the all-digital cardiovascular facility. And of course, Pepin Academy, Pepin Academy out there on the charter school. Tom and his family got involved in that. And the Pepins, as you know, over the years, whether it was at University of Tampa with the Pepin Root Stadium or any of the other projects I've mentioned, they're the type of people that they look at a situation, if they see a benefit, they go, they support it. And candidly, as I stand here before you today, on behalf of the Pepins, we're very humbled by all that this room, the people in this room have done in the area of arts and culture. Because this project was really Pepin's introduction, perhaps, to accept the challenges that were mentioned today about getting involved from a corporate standpoint, from individual standpoint. And I feel like I am actually preaching to the choir today, so you'll pardon me. I feel like the repentant, the person who comes in to repent, saying, I'm sorry I wasn't here all this time, but I'm here now, so welcome me. Pepin, though, was involved in this for 7 reasons. When we reviewed this project, we saw 7 regions. And this is not a marketing effort on our behalf, because as many of you know, Bill Giesking and his staff does that in our area and does it better than I could be possibly doing it up here. This is not about selling beer. This is about putting it back into the community. Because we see the following 7 benefits. The first one, and it should be the first one, this is going to be a first. You know, when we would get together for these meetings, and I was the virtual Philistine among these art critics, I would sit there and they'd say, oh, this is a building that was lit, and they go, ha, 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 ha. I said, where is that? They'd say, well, that's in Belgium, or that's in France, or that's in... And you know what? Not one of these buildings was in the United States. Not one of these projects that we were looking at occurred here. And we got verification very early on. This is going to be a first in the United States. That's right. You open up your New York Times, you open up your paper in Los Angeles and Chicago, you're going to be reading about what happened first here in Tampa. And that excited Tom. And we all know Pepin, we're part of the business community. We have what we call partners downtown, the restaurants and the other vendors that work with us in the distribution, the orderly distribution of alcoholic beverages. We saw this as an opportunity to partner with them and help them to partner with their partners. We had one such experience that we did at we did with the returning troops, where we actually put on a function at Channelside. And when we put on this event, we said, we were surprised to find that the retailers who had no formal relationship to us came up and said, thank you for partnering with our partners. What we realized was when we helped the restaurants downtown, we're helping the clothiers, who are helping the art museums, who are helping the residential programs. And we started seeing this is an opportunity to put it back in a way we hadn't realized. We saw this then as our second reason, a way of helping our partners, also a way of continuing our involvement in economic development and economic redevelopment. Now our third, which, sometimes you get up and you design these great speeches and somebody gets up and takes your line right away from you. I know I'm late with this, but I'm not that late that you can't believe me that I really wrote this before I came up here. We want to get more corporations involved in the arts. Because what we did when we were sitting at one of these events, we got this data, the data that is contained on this fact sheet. And we saw the impact that the arts are making in the community, the economic impact. But it's not just an economic impact, it's also a cultural and artistic impact. It's an educational impact. The impacts go far, they go deep. We saw this as an opportunity to reach out to some corporations who had not been involved, much perhaps like ourselves, in this particular venue, get them involved, get them participating, so that maybe when this event is held and maybe next year or the year after, that wall keeps getting moved back farther and farther, and hopefully the technological difficulties will be cured by then, But the important thing is to get more people involved because we are one community. The fourth reason was education. The family has always had a passion about helping in education. And as a part of this project, we learned that the 7 counties surrounding us, that would probably be what we call the Tampa Bay Partnership region. That's Hernando to Sarasota out to Polk. All the school boards are being approached, and we hope they're going to participate. We think we have a buy-in, where all of the students are going to be given, in all of those 7 school boards, a project to what? Come downtown with who? Of course, their families and their friends to see this project. And you know, we were talking about, Ms. Bergman, you're talking about the view that a child has or the ability that a child has to perceive the art. We saw this as a phenomenal opportunity to introduce children to a new art, a new form, maybe not a new form of art, but a new presentation of art. And what were they going to do? They're going to come see it, they're going to think about it, they're going to write about it. And Tom, Pepin, and the family got very excited about this and said, hey, this is a project that it really is getting our vote and our support. But the fifth reason is a lesson that we learned through our involvement with the Tampa Bay Partnership. Today, when you go to Tallahassee, you go to Washington, and you put together a project or a presentation, the legislators and their staff, they look for what? They all are looking for what's called, I call it, the public-private partnership. And that's what this is. And when I read this, I was going to give you a much more detailed analysis of this private-public partnership, but it's set out in this, and the arts program here in our city is accomplishing this in a lot of different ways that are going to bode very well for our community in 2 ways. Number one, establish us as a community that can accomplish the public-private partnerships. And number two, give us the training, the understanding, the corporate awareness of how to partner with the public sector, or for the public sector, how to partner with the private sector. The sixth reason is that many of us, this may come as a surprise to many of you, but many of us were not born here in Tampa, but relocated here. And it's not uncommon for us to hear from our friends and family around the country, hey, I see where. We call it the see where. I see where the Lightning has won the Stanley Cup. I see where the Buccaneers have won this. I see where this. I see where there's a court case in Tampa. Well, not addressing which one. We had an opportunity to meet with the people that just relocated from Manhattan, the Depository Trust up in New Tampa. And when we met with them, they told us about how they loved Tampa. They said this weather is great. The transportation is phenomenal. They said the biggest problem they have is the 4-minute stoplight outside their complex on their way to the residence. They told about how they would drive an hour and a half to get from here to there up in Manhattan, and realized they relocated 1/3 of their operation to this area. Well, as we were talking about this, it dawned on me that for people like that are relocating here, that are already here, as well as those people that are thinking about relocating here, our community needed to continue its effort to have these types of things like Lights on Tampa available to them so that not only can they come and enjoy it, but they see this as an incentive to relocate here. One of the things I told them was that, Tampa can become all that Manhattan, all the good things that Manhattan is, but Manhattan's not going to be able to get our weather. I can trust them on that. But then the seventh reason that Tom and the family got very excited about this was a very simple reason. It's free. It's an opportunity to put something on downtown that's free to all people of all ages. It's not uncommon for you in the community to see a bus go by from, say, a John Knox retirement village where the people are just out riding around. It's not uncommon just to see families going down to the beach or going any which way around in our community. But when we saw this project, we saw a project that there was no excuse for anybody in our 7-county, even larger area, to come and experience. It's free. It's at absolutely no charge. And for all the reasons we stated above, we thought that this was a great project. So we got involved. And if we could bring up the sponsors, I'd like to focus on them. There's our sponsors so far. And it comes as no surprise that you see the name like News Channel 8, Tampa Tribune, Verizon, and some of the other, and of course the Morsani family. When we got involved in this project, we really felt like we had the tiger by the tail. We really still have that tiger by the tail, and as you see these names up here, I can assure you we can find more room for your company's name up there. But there's plenty of work to be done, because as you saw there's a phase 3 that we're trying to get to, and the phase 3 is really, I think, is going to be every bit as rewarding as the phases before it. I think that there's going to be great interaction in a way, a different way for these young children to participate, especially on that Dan Corson project. The group, we don't take a proprietary interest in anything that we do. We welcome your comments. We welcome your assistance. And if any of you have any further questions, we'd love to help you. We hope, though, to be able to bring this to the community. We know we're well on our way to success. And I want to leave you with one final note. The next time we put this on, our second time, is going to be during the 2009 Super Bowl. Imagine the exposure there. For all the reasons I've just stated, imagine the exposure there. Imagine what the people around the world are going to see about our community. Thank you.